Welcome to Gumps podcast, episode whatever, and I'm joined with the Geordie Nerd, who's got a fantastic channel. You should go check him out. Paul, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good man. Thanks for having us back. I really do enjoy the podcast.
Thank you. We're going to try to keep the lot of rants to a minimum today.
No promises.
No promises, especially because people in the comments know how to instigate us. So we'll probably get sidetracked really rapidly, really fast. There's one thing I wanted to discuss before we get into the actual story of today. So, on Saturday or Sunday, I forget, it was 4th of July. And, I made an ass out of myself. A couple of my friends were a little pissed off with me. Things are soothing out now. I actually had to go apologize on Sunday to his dad, which rightfully so. But on 4th of July, I never, ever have I ever got so plastered in my life. Like before this, I never got blackout drunk before. And before this, I never had a real hangover. The closest thing I had to a hangover was water. That's all. That's the closest thing I had to a hangover.
Right.
I already know why I got blackout drunk. At this point, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., we're getting the hard liquor out. I already have like four Miller Lights in me, and I got like four of this like event beer that's just not really beer, but it's got like 2% alcohol in it, and it's just like flavored. I had like 4 or 5 of those. We get the hard liquor out because we're getting ready for the fireworks to shoot off. We get this thing called Hennessy, and Hennessy is the only liquor that actually got me buzzed on a double shot. I was on my buddy's 21st birthday. We took a double shot of that, and I'm like, what the flying fuck was that? I was buzzed. So we bought that for this party. I'm like, that's a must. My 2 friends, Will and Lamas, get these single shot glasses. My friend, who had the shot of Hennessy with me, gets these shotgun shell shot glasses that are like literally 2.5 times bigger than the normal shot glasses.
Right.
And he gives me one, he takes one, he fills them to the brim, down that. I'm like, not as bad as I remember. We take another one, drink that, and now I'm starting to feel it already because, again, a double shot buzzed me. Technically, at this point, I just drank 5 shots of Hennessy. Technically. And I'm already feeling it. And this is where we made our mistake. We didn't stop there. We didn't wait an hour. We didn't wait 35 minutes. We didn't grab a burger, add some chips to it. We're just like, that's all you got, pussy? Let's get some more. We got this thing of Knob Creek. Knob Creek, I never heard of it. But when we were in the liquor store, we were looking for some strong shit. And this Knob Creek was 120 proof. For those who don't know, 120 proof is fucked up. I think a thing of moonshine's 150. Moonshine is probably one of the strongest shit you'll ever taste. I've had gin before. I hated it because it was just all burn, no flavor. Gin wasn't as much of a fireball than this. Knob Creek literally felt like a chest of the human, like just a chest shot from the Human Torch, just punching me. And I remember like going back, I'm like, and then we should have stopped there, but of course we didn't. We had this thing called a tall boy challenge. I'd never heard of it until this point, where you get like these random like tall things of like craft beers, which I normally hate. There's 5 good ones, 5 bad ones. I got a good one of like pineapple, and I started chugging that. Fireworks are going off, and at this point I'm blasted. Me and my friend Will have this weird thing when we are drunk. We just look at each other, we just start pissing ourselves laughing. So I'm causing up a storm, laughing my ass off, and then everything starts getting really blurry. My friend called more shots on the top. So we're in the backyard, we gotta go up to the top of the porch, and I'm sitting there struggling to climb up, to get to the top of the porch. Like, I'm literally holding onto the railing, taking one step at a time, and I remember whispering, one small step for man, and a giant leap for mankind. And then I finally get to the top, and at this point, this is when the blackouts start kind of happening, because apparently I said something, or did something, that required my friend's sister to go, I think it's time for Gump and Will to go to bed. And I'm like, what did I do? I remember looking at everybody. I'm like, what did I do? Everyone's looking at me like I had 7 heads. I'm like, what did I do? Ah, fuck it. I'm tired anyway. I'm going to bed. So it takes me about 5 minutes to get down the steps. And I don't remember going inside the tent. I just remember laying down with my friend. And the first thing he says, I swear to God, with the straighest face, he goes, Gump, are we weak? And then I'm like, yeah, I think so, dude. Everyone's going to think of me as a lightweight. Everyone's out there fucking having a good time. And I'm sitting here blasted. And at this, like, we're in the tent that my friend just bought. It's a $130 tent. It's a 10-person tent. It's fucking massive. Yeah. I'm on the far quarter side of the tent. And we're just talking. And next thing I know, I'm teleported to the front fucking door and I'm puking. Outside the door. Outside the door. I'm just puking. And then my friend teleports outside and he goes like, Gump, are you okay? And I go, uh-huh. At this point, words are not possible. And I puke some more. He's asked me if I'm okay again. And then I black out. And apparently there was a lot of time where I was still awake. He actually showed me footage of me doing stuff that I don't have any like memory of. But at this, I black out and I wake up. It's gonna get graphic, so I'm sorry. I am covered like a thin layer of my own vomit, and I'm sleeping in it. I was this fucked up. I woke up in my own vomit, and I knew it was my own vomit because I felt my shirt was wet. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And oh fuck! And I saw my entire lunch light out all over the tent, and it was awful. I see my phone in the center. And I'm like, why is everything blurry? And I look for my glasses. I'm like, where the fuck are they? They're on the opposite side of the tent where I wasn't even sleeping. I'm like, how the fuck did they get over there? I put them on. I get out of the tent. I'm limping to my friend to the campfire. I'm like, I'm actually hungover and it hurts and it sucks. I'm never drinking again. And he starts showing me footage of like him flashing a light at me and like things I don't even remember. Nothing spectacular. I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna need to go home because I don't feel good. He's like, drink some water, and then we'll take you. I'll take you home, but we gotta get you ready first. He's like, but you're not coming in my car with that shirt on. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I take my shirt off. This is 5:30 in the morning, so there's no one there except for me and him right now. I take off my shirt, toss it into the fire, and he watches it burn for a second, and then looks at me. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be like 3 hours, 2 hours until we can get you home. So I watch my shirt like just kind of slowly like burning. I'm like, well, that sucks. I take my shirt out, like pounce on the fucking flames. I'm like, nah. I put it back on. So I'm bathed in my own vomit and just fire pit ash of whatever they burned last night. I try to drink some water. I'm puking up everything I can get. And then my friend looks at me. Oh, now we lost Paul. But I'll continue the story real quick. So I puked. I lost my train of thought. That really fucked me up. And then party crashed in, no problem. Send me another party invite, and I'm gonna just continue the story. So he looks at me, and he's like, Gump, are you missing a lens? I'm like, no. No. He's like, dude, because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're missing a lens. I'm like, dude, look. And I stopped, and I was missing a lens. So I'm missing a lens. We looked all over for it. I'm puking up everything I drank. He's like, fine. We got to take you home. We got to take you home. And then they finally get the keys. He takes me home with a Lowe's bucket, and I'm just so gone. I'm like puking everything I drink. I never felt so sick in my life. I haven't felt nauseous like that since I was a kid. It was a goddamn disgrace. The PS4 froze. Oh shit. Kind of just reset it, and I'll finish up the story, and then we'll go from there. If that's what's got to happen. But So when I finally get home, I'm limping to my front door, no shirt on, ash covered in ash, kind of like dripping in like vomit juice, lens missing, like holding a fucking Lowe's bucket. My neighbor looks at me, he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I don't remember. I really don't remember." So yeah, that's my Fourth of July experience. I gotta pay my friends back for the tent because it's covered in my own vomit. So they refuse to go in there, rightfully so. So yeah, cheers to that. Yeah, I'm not gonna be drinking whiskey for a while. I understand what I did wrong, but now I fucked up there. I know he's still a little. My one friend's still a little upset about it. Again, rightfully so. There's a huge chance I ruined the possibility of having any more drinking parties with everybody else's friends. My friend Travis's friends and his sister's friends. There's a chance I ruined that. Yeah, I got fucked up. Yeah, so like that's why he was upset. He was upset that there was a brand new tent that was ruined, and because of me, my buddy Lamas and Will could not sleep all night. They did not sleep that night. My friend Travis got a little shit faced, but he wasn't on the level as me, and he wasn't sleeping in our tent. It was going to be me, Lamas, and Will, and that's why they didn't sleep. Apparently, there was a handful of times they were trying to like move my stuff out because it was covered in vomit. They're like, nope, it smells too bad in there. So yeah. Paul, you need another invite or what's going on here? What we doing? Let me know. But while Paul's not here, I do have to shout out him. Like if you guys want to know where his channel is at, it's just the Geordie Nerd, Geordie Nerd. And if you really are really dyslexic or really just that lazy, you can go to the live comments. He's right there. Just give him a check. He has great reaction videos, and I don't normally support reaction channels normally because a lot of them are just lazy. Paul actually does a really good job with it. He makes it feel like a review on top of a reaction, and it's really good. I really do enjoy it. I love his Camp series. He did a full-on Harley Quinn show reaction. That's why we're going to be talking about Harley Quinn today. We got a lot of other stuff we're going to be talking about, but I just wanted to go over and just give him a shout out because he's actually a genuinely good reactor. He's at 4.1K, which is insanity because when I met him, he was at, I believe he was at 700 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. And now he's at in the thousands, which is insanity. I'll give us a moment. I gotta go all the way down to the Geordie Nerd. The Geordie Nerd. He's always appearing offline, but I'm doing the same, so it's fine. That felt good. No, but seriously, give him a check. He's actually a good reaction channel, and I will vouch for that. Oh, there it is. The double burp. Ayo.
I do apologize about that. Yeah, the PlayStation just completely froze.
Yeah, shit. No, like when I started doing podcasts on the PlayStation 4, I understood there was always going to be some form of complications. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. So I just kind of roll with the punches. But yeah, so again, one final message: give Paul a check out because I love the Camp series, dude. That Camp stuff,
that's so funny,
dude. That shit is just. I'm watching this. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? My favorite episode out of all your reactions was the one that had just nothing but Nazi innuendos. And that was, I was sitting there pissing myself laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? And the fucking, the Anne Frank thing, he's like, yeah, I was just up in the attic writing in my diary. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. He's hiding upstairs with the crackers and the Jews. I was like, no, this is not what I think it is it? And then obviously, like, it finally clicked me at the end. I was like, oh, this is Nazi shit.
I remember, like, early in the show, you're like, is that a baby Hitler? I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
I think they're being a little more subtle than that. Then that episode happened. I'm like, bruh. That's fucking great. I love that episode. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out his reaction series, definitely check it out, especially of Camp because it will make you laugh. And Paul is known for his voice acting talents. So there's that.
Thank you.
I do have to ask you, what made you decide? What made that click to go from gaming content to reactions? Like, what was that process?
Just honestly, the watch time for my gaming videos just was in the toilet, and then Supernatural was coming back, and I thought, well, do you know what it is? I love that show. I know everything about that show, so I'll try reactions, and that did okay. And I just thought, well, I'll just try other shows, and I did Attack on Titan, and it didn't do very well. And then I just thought, well, everyone's watching this Harley Quinn. I love that character, so I'll just give it a shot. And then it just snowballed from there. And now I'm 4,100 odd subs in, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah, because like I was telling them when I met you in October. When it was with that series you had, like October month or whatever the hell you call it, with the Halloween stuff.
Halloween.
Yeah. So that's where I met him. So this is literally how I met Paul. Okay, are you ready for this, guys? I was looking for collaborations, obviously. So I'm like, okay, I just got Dead by Daylight again. I want to find a group of people, just small subs, just normal, nothing crazy. I looked up small YouTuber, Dead by Daylight, and I kid you not, I went through 35 different messages. 35 different messages. Paul was the only one that got back to me. Yeah, Paul, you were the only one that got back to me. And literally, I think it was like a week or two later, we did Dead by Daylight. This is the first time we've ever did a gaming video, ever talked to each other in person. Other than that, it was just maybe 3 or 4 text messages back and forth. And it's crazy because the first thing he says to me, he's like, "Yeah, we don't really play the objective. We just kind of scream and yell." I'm like, "We're gonna fucking fit. I'm gonna fit in right quick." And look at that. We just do a lot of gaming stuff back and forth. It's crazy how things work out like that when you really think about it.
It is. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm the type of person who, if someone messages, "Oh, I want to do a collab," I mean, we're in the same kind of thing. We're doing the same kind of stuff. So I'm not going to turn around and say no, because at the end of the day, it could be the thing that propels you and that person further. So to me, the fact that you messaged 35 people and I was the only one, that just goes to show that other YouTubers aren't really interested in collaborating or in other people's channels and stuff, where I'm the opposite of that. I want my friends to do well. Do you know what I mean? I want their channels to be popular and have great content. So when you messaged, I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't know you. I didn't know a thing about you. But that first Dead by Daylight video, we just clicked. It just worked.
Yeah.
And while I was editing the video, like, my girlfriend, I remember her saying, "You're shouting a lot in this video, more than usual." I was like, "That's not me." This is other person. She's like, "Jesus, there's another one of you." I was like, "Yeah, of course," because you know that bit where it's like Luke, where you see his name loads.
Yeah.
I was like, "I've heard you say it like 15 times." I was like, "That's not me. This is for the edit. This is my friend in America." And she's like, "God, you're both loud." I was like, "Yeah, I found my soulmate here." That was great. I mean, like I said in my Q&A thing at the end of that episode, like, there was enough in there that the videos don't. I mean, there is certain moments that are in there in both videos, but it plays totally different.
Oh, and
that's, again, something that I love about a collab, because it's the same story told in a different way. And like, I laughed my head off at yours. I've seen it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really good. And because you got yours out straight away, and I was like, shit. Like, this guy's dedicated. He got this shit out. I'm going to have to make sure mine's up to this level. So I was just putting as much effort as I could just to stand next to you, because you did so good. I was like, if I don't even get next to him on his level, he's not going to want to do it again. He's going to think,
are you kidding me? I'm not like that. You know that now.
Oh, well, I know that. But back then, I was like, if I don't, put as much effort in as him, he's going to think, well, shit. Like, he's not as hardworking as I am. So I was like, well, I have to really put some effort into this video, which I did. It took a long time to edit.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how long those texts take. That takes a long fucking time. When I had that in my computer, there was some like stream highlight videos I would do. That would take literally 4 or 5 hours of just nonstop, like no bathroom breaks, just straight 4 hours. And I was getting like 25, 30 views. I'm like, that's why I quit the stream highlights on that. But yeah, like you were saying, like after that video, I rewatched my video and your video, and I'm just like, wow. It's like you could have said that I made this yesterday with you, and it would feel like that, just because nothing's really changed. Just now, there's just now Weedo's in the picture, because at the time, I didn't know who Weedo was.
Yeah, was Sam?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember who was. It was definitely Luke. I think Billy was there. And who was the other one?
Will, a kid called Will.
Yeah,
he
Will.
Was there,
It was just us and just literally screaming at each other, fucking raging. It sucked because I was gonna make it the video longer, but of course, again, I'm working on Share Factory, so I had I was gonna make a part 2. Then at this time I didn't have an extension storage, so I lost a lot of my footage. People don't understand how frequently I lose my footage. Like there's a lot of times where like just shit hits the fan on my PlayStation, and I just lose stuff in my gallery. And that was one of those cases. I'm like, oh, that's depressing. At least I got the one video gone. So
we should definitely go back to that. I think we should definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely
make another Dead by Daylight video. I think if Wheato's there as well, it'll be 3 times as loud.
Wheato's just the guy that just says, "You what?" And just like he's so loud where it's like it breaks the mic loud. Like I think that's what kills me more, when he gets mad or when he gets really obnoxiously loud. It pierces my ear, making me want to die some more.
But I definitely think we should revisit that. And I mean, we've got like the forest as well. I mean, I never got around to making a series on that, but I think that's something that I would actually enjoy doing with the forest. I really would, because we had some funny stuff, but again, like you say, the PlayStation, it just saves what it wants to save, doesn't it? And there was like 45 minutes of really good stuff that didn't get saved, and I never got back around to doing it.
Yeah. We started a forest series. We only got to episode 1, I believe, at least for me. There was definitely more we were gonna do. That world was cooked. We kind of fucked up already. We were dying. I just remember hearing I remember at the end of it. I vaguely remember this, but I remember just like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the fire and I'm gonna die. I don't care anymore. It's just everything's fucked. I wish you guys had 7 days to die. I really wish you guys had that, but that does cost money, and I know a lot of, like, especially with me, money is not exactly something we can just throw around like cotton candy. But it's you guys know what 7 days. You know what 7 days to die is, right?
Yeah, it's Minecraft with zombies, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's so good, but it's so buggy, and so it's got that charm of like it's bad design, but it's so vast and open. So when the game crashes, you kind of want to go back in. It's a fun game. I'm gonna try to make a gaming video out of it if I can for this Monday's gaming video. I probably don't have enough. I got like 17 hours worth of footage, but the thing is though, it's more of a grind than it is to like actually make content. So there's a mixed pro and con. It's kind of like the forest if you think about it, except in 7 days to die you can dig down. Every time I play that game, I'm like bunker straight up. But
I played it on Xbox briefly, and I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I would shoot a zombie and it would just kill us, or I'd wear a hat and I'd die of heat stroke and stuff. And I was like, what is this game?
That's gonna take some getting used to. I know Weed is one of the guys like, it's the game shit. And I'm like, you're wearing a fucking leather jacket in the desert, and he's like, I don't care. He's like, I looks cool,
but I look pretty.
I look sexy. But like there's a lot of other games we can definitely collab on. I think our PUBG stuff is are gonna be like our consistent stuff. Like when we're bored, just like PUBG. I've been practicing. I've been practicing on PUBG. So I finally figured out that third person is the way to go. And I found out how to aim down sights and aim in third person. So I found that out too. So that's gonna make me shooting people a little bit easier,
Yeah.
and now I'm just altering the sensitivities and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, guys. So we're gonna move on from this. We're gonna get to the. Let's get to one before we get to Harley Quinn.
Right.
Supernatural, because you brought up Supernatural earlier. I want to
Yeah.
know, when did you find out or hear about Supernatural, and when did you start watching it?
Right. Well, in the UK, it was advertised as scary, just got sexy, and obviously Sam and Dean were like the
Yeah.
advertisement. It was appealing to women, and I was like, who are these bloody divs? I'm not watching this. Two sexy dudes killing monsters. I'm not interested. And then it came on the TV, and I think it was Home, episode 9. And I think that was the very first episode I watched. And
Which one's that?
Dean Home. It's called Home, season 1, episode 9.
Um,
Where they go back to
oh,
Kansas,
yeah.
and there's a ghost in their old house. And I'm watching the first episode, no clue what's going on. And Dean gets on the phone to his dad, and this is the tough guy. And he starts to cry, and I'm like, holy shit! Like I've never had like that male role model in my life. It's just been my mother and me and my brothers, and I've never seen a man cry before until then. And I was like, God, it was 15 years ago, so I was, yeah, a while ago. Let's just say I was 18, and I
God.
was like, this dude's crying, saying he's scared. Like I didn't expect that. So I went back and watched the first episode to obviously episode 9, and then I was just hooked from there because he's like all action heroes wrapped into one, but he's also like this sensitive dude who actually loves his family.
Yeah.
So I just got hooked from him. So I've watched it from episode 9, so like 9 weeks into season 1, and I've watched it consistently for 15 years. I mean, I've seen it about 10 times every season because it is my favorite show.
Yeah, I agree with that. Imagine you've landed on an episode where it was actually like there's no really bad episode except for one that I know you don't like.
Bugs.
Yeah, the bugs episode. So it's
Yeah.
basically where they're on. There's this construction site, and it's on top of a Indian burial ground, sacred shit,
Yeah.
and they send a plague of bugs. I don't hate the episode. I don't really have an episode that I hate, but imagine you landed on that. You're like, this show sucks. That was
God, yeah. Yeah, I would have had a total different opinion of the show. But like that show with the shitty bugs and stuff. No, oh yeah, that is. I mean, I still watch it when I go through the watch of Supernatural, and I do think there is some not great episodes like the mannequin one. I don't know if you remember that one.
yeah,
From
I
season
remember that
6.
one. Yeah,
I
season
didn't
6
enjoy
was
that.
pretty much the weakest. We could
Yeah,
me and you agree with that. Yeah, just the overall plot I was not the biggest fan of, but
yeah.
it's weird because it has also my favorite episode where
Is it
they
the French mistake?
is that where they which is that the it's the one where they are actually Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. Yeah, that's the one.
French
Yeah,
mistake. It's called. Yeah.
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 That's my favorite episode. So it's got like these iconic episodes,
Yeah,
and
that's what the
but
show does so well.
yeah,
I think. But yeah, I mean, sorry to interrupt.
no, you're good.
But yeah, like explaining Supernatural, it's two brothers fighting monsters, but it's way more funnier than that and way more ridiculous. Like it's like suicidal teddy bears and
Oh, that's like
parallel universes.
yeah,
And,
bro. I
Like
fucking love that.
it's insane. There's a musical episode which made me cry. Like "Carry On My Wayward Son" is literally
Oh my god, the
my
ending though.
favorite song now.
Yeah.
Like every season when it gets to that, like season 5, I don't know if I've told you this story, but I thought season 5 was the end. So when Carry On My Wayward Son played for what I thought was the last time, I was crying already. And that's the start of the episode. So when Sam jumps into the pit, or the it's not called the pit, is it?
No, it's the pit, I think.
Yeah,
The gate to hell and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when he jumps into it, and then Cass says to Dean, "You got exactly what you asked for. You wanted the world to be safe, and now you're alone." Like, I burst into tears. I was a mess. I was a wreck. Like, I had to go and pick my daughter from school, I think, or I was all going to work, something like that, and I was still in the street crying. Like, I was a wreck. So that show can go from, you're laughing your ass off to you're crying like a little baby. And that's what I love about it, because I'm so emotionally attached to these fictional
Yeah.
characters. Like, when season 5 ended, I was like, oh my god, that's it. And then they showed Sam out of hell, and I thought, how are they going to leave it like that? He's left Dean, Sam's out of hell, or maybe it's Lucifer, you didn't know, but
Yeah.
then they came back with season 6, and I was glad it came back, but at the same time I was like, oh shit, this is not as good as seasons 1 to 5.
Yeah.
But it did get better. I will say there's been some okay
Stinkers.
seasons.
Yeah.
But season 6 was definitely the worst.
Yeah. Just season 12 was actually surprisingly good. I just got done wrapping that up. Season 13, I could smell the CW on it. Season 13, so for those who don't know, we're gonna tame ourselves because we're talking about CW now. CW picked up the show after season 5, so 6 to now, they picked it up because the original creator did intend it to only be a seasons 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Which, when I saw that finale, I'm like, this seems like a storybook ending. And that's when I looked up, like, when was the show supposed to end? And they were like, yeah, season 5. And I'm like, what a fucking dickhead leaving it there. Like, what, like, asshole. No, but, yeah, it just, season 13, I could taste the CW on it. Not that it's like awful CW. It's best CW television that you can actually call for.
Yeah.
And it helps that you actually care about these characters, and they had years of already establishing what kind of story this is going to be. So they're like, okay, we can't possibly fuck this up because we already got the same writers, same executive producers. Let them do the work. And then every once in a while, they're like, melodrama.
Yeah.
Melodrama.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
There's times where the melodrama is definitely called for. These characters are like so flawed, but I feel like in like the more recent seasons, like these characters are making more and more like extreme mistakes, if you know what I mean. Like Dean, we all know Dean. He's like, okay, kill the evil, protect the family, protect the world. That's his whole character. Like he's like basically a fucking fluffy pillow disguised as this impenetrable shield. He's like, you can't fuck with my family, but he's really an emotional wreck. So when the Antichrist comes into the picture, like even when he's trying his best to fucking clearly do good, he's like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. He still goes up to this basically three-day-old guy. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, Dean. I'm like, Dean. It is in character, but that's such an extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an extreme.
I mean, I understand part of the reason why he was like that, because he just lost Cass, who was his best friend. Or
exactly.
Half brother, or whatever he wants to call him, from one episode to the other. But, like, I mean, there was a point where, I can't remember which episode it was, I thought, well, this is going to swing Dean's opinion. And the end of the episode was just like, no, I'm still going to kill you. I know you're going to make a mistake, and when you do, it's going to be me who pulls the trigger. So, I mean, like you said, melodrama.
Yeah, it's better melodrama because at least there's like reasoning behind it. There is reasoning behind it, but it's just compared to the other like reasons behind it. It's just this one was just more of an extreme. Like Dean is more of like the guy that's more reactionary than Sam. Dean is just like with his entire life he's brought up to be a shield, to protect the world, protect Sammy. That is his number one goal. Anything that gets in that way, he will react stupidly. And
of course,
And Sam is too busy worrying about Dean being an impenetrable shield. He tends to forget about his own feelings and stuff like that. So when he was like, they were talking to a therapist that was a shapeshifter. And they were talking about their mom, and then you see Sam kind of just break down. He's like, "What do you want me? You had all this time with mom, and now I barely had a moment with her, and now you just want me to accept that it's gone forever?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, that hit different. That hit different." Like, there's great moments because these characters feel real. They feel real. To like every decision they make, it feels real, which is hard to
is.
do. 15
Yeah.
fucking years, and I'm surprised they fucked up the little amount of times they did. So,
Yeah, oh,
props.
definitely. I mean, like, season 6 is definitely the worst because
Yeah.
it just felt like it wasn't Sam and Dean. It was Sam and Dean just coexisting. And obviously it's because Sam didn't have his soul, but
Yeah.
he didn't know that going in straight away. And it took like 11 episodes for him to get it back. And then it felt more like Sam and Dean, but it was just the writing, the episodes.
It was odd, yeah.
They weren't as good. I mean, don't get us wrong, I love Crowley, and him being the villain, that's what I was led to believe of that season, was like, that was really good. And then the twist that it was actually Cass who was the villain, like, that was a shock. So they did that well, but like those episodes where it was just a nothing episode, where they were just like Monster of the Week episode, it just, to me, just didn't feel all that good. And then the inclusion of like cousins and
Yeah, that's what I didn't like. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just,
introducing to like alpha vampires, alpha werewolves, all this alpha shit, and on top of that was just like the other family drama. I'm just like I can see what you're trying to do, just like, but the show's charm is with Sam and Dean, and it's they're flat out chemistry, because these guys are basically family now in real life. Like, they're like Sam married one of the co-stars. He's it was Ruby. Sexy Ruby, because there was like 17 different Rubies. So so congratulations, Sam, dude. Like, you popped off. I remember like, wow, mama, and then I was like, oh, okay, they're married.
Yeah,
and then that kind of confirmed it to me when also in season 6, where they're like, yeah, I'm married. You're married to Ruby, which is kind of weird because which is weird because he was also like, quote unquote, in bed with Ruby as well. So I'm like, so this is really awkward. So this is like, I'm still mad at you for choosing Ruby over me, and now you're married to fake Ruby. That's fantastic. It's like, I love that episode so much. It's so stupid. They every once in a while they bring it up too, like when they just got Cass back in season 13, when he like comes back to life. They're like, is this some like, no, my bad, it was season 12 when they went to a different dimension and they come back. So this is the season finale. They're like, is this like some weird like alternate reality where like you were like some Polish dude? And then Castiel turned around like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It's just like, I'm like, hey, they mentioned the thing that I love, so that makes this episode 10 times better. Hey.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is one of those shows that it can be grounded and like so real and brutal, and then it can also have like changing channels. The episode where they have to play their roles in a TV show, so they're playing sexy doctors, and then in a sitcom.
And then there's CSI.
CSI.
The glasses. He's like, this guy clearly can't act. He's a douchebag wearing sunglasses at night.
Yeah. Oh god, you know that CSI Miami? That's what they're taking the piss out of there.
Yeah. My grandma used to watch that all the time. My grandma
he always did that. He took his glasses off all the time and then walk away, and like I thought when I was a kid, I was like, this guy's the coolest. But looking back, I'm like, dude, it's fucking 9 o'clock at night. It's dark. You're in an underground like car park. Why are you wearing shades, dickhead?
That was so good, bro. Because again, my grandma grew up watching, like, especially my family. They grew up watching CSI stuff. So every time I would go into the living room, I had, and then you see the guy would go like, sexy doctor, like, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So when I saw that, I was pissing myself. I was like, this is great. And don't worry, dude, you got only 27 more seasons of that, so just taking your sunglasses off. High paying jobs, fantastic stuff. I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts on season 15?
It's good, but I think it could have been better. I think obviously you're all caught up, right?
Yeah.
Like, they killed Ketch, which
upset me.
I didn't think they'd do. They killed Rowena, but like they killed Rowena, and I genuinely teared up because I liked that character. But then they brought him
Yeah.
back like 3 episodes later, and I was just like, all that fucking payoff for nothing. Do you know, it could have been at the end, like she was the Queen of Hell or something. You found out, but like 3 episodes later or something, you found out she was Queen of Hell. And I think I would rather have had 10 episodes that were just all fucking crazy, brutal, and like heart wrenching, leading
Yeah.
up to this big battle with God or whatever they're going to do for the end. But we've got like 22 episodes. I think that's what they're doing,
Yeah.
on 20 episodes.
Well, technically, this season ended, so they're gonna have to do a season 16, and then they're gonna market it separately.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get however many episodes, 6, is it? Maybe. And
Yeah.
I just think they've wasted a lot of time when they could have done a tighter end season. But don't get us wrong, I'm always happy for more Supernatural because I love that show.
Yeah.
And if they said tomorrow, oh, we're doing another 3 seasons, I would be ecstatic because I don't want it to end. I would follow Sam and Dean until what, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I would grow old with them because I've grown from an 18-year-old to a 34-year-old in that time. And I've loved every step of the way, even the bad season. There's brilliant moments, there's funny episodes, and there's moments between the brothers like that I love, and I can watch it again and again and again because I know I'm going to get that. But when it ends, I hope it doesn't ruin it, because that episode we were discussing the other day, mentioning, God is the reason why they're so, good at their job.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of annoyed me. I understand why they did it, but in my brain, like, the way things work is muscle memory. So, like, unlocking these doors with the lockpicks, they wouldn't have forgotten that, surely.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have forgotten, but they should have been more flawed at it. But like they were like,
Yeah.
I can see why you didn't like it.
And like Dean had a cold or something, and that's fine.
Yeah,
And the car broke down, and that's fine. But it was implying that their talents were all God given, and that really annoyed me because they'd spent all their life hunting with their father. He taught them everything, and then it was just kind of like, well, we've undone all that. Those moments, like, I don't know if you've played The Last of Us 2.
no,
Well, there's like moments in that, I won't spoil it, but like where one of the characters has learned something from the other character, and you think, oh, that's great, and I understand that, and they've took the time to explain that. And then this episode was just like, oh no, we've undone all that now. That's not what happened. It's all God given, and He's taken it away, and it just annoyed us.
okay. So this is interesting because, like, to an extent, I definitely agree with you. What I do like out of it though is the fact that they're hitting like guys like that are like literally 15 times more strong than them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when they get punched, they fucking break a rib and stuff like that. Or like when they try to punch him in the head, they don't budge. They're like, that's fucked. And he's getting heartburn and all that stuff. So that's stuff I like. But yeah, definitely, I definitely agree with you with the whole like combatant skills because it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Unless they're also, I mean, the way they implied it was that it was all God given. So yeah, but if they change it to a different way where like God's just fucking with them, that would have been different.
Yeah.
If God was just fucking with them, that would have been a lot different, and it would have definitely been perceived a little differently. But I liked the episode where they were playing pool because when they were playing pool, it's just a game of them playing pool, but it's also implying that the age of heroes was dead for a long fucking time.
Yeah,
and then the lady's like, okay, if I beat you, you do this. If you beat me, you do this. I believe they win, if I'm not mistaken. And they're like, yeah, you can give us our luck back, right? But no, we want you to free these people. Then she's like, interesting. So you're willing to like risk yourselves and all this stuff to free other people. She's like, I thought the age of heroes was dead. So that made me look at things differently with the show. I'm like, I always saw them as heroes because they are fucking heroes, for God's sakes. Yeah. But I'm looking at them more like a Greek mythology, like a Hercules, like the tale of Sam and Dean. Maybe look at it a little differently. And it just kind of like brightened up the show a little bit for me. And it makes me think. It kind of brings up a new theory. Because my theory was, for the longest time, I told you about this, that Chuck or God is not God. It's a like a double. It's like a trickster or whatever. But
Yeah.
then that happened. That made me believe, what if God doesn't want to destroy the world? He's just trying to find a way to end the story. And he's like, okay, I never played the villain before, so let me play the villain. Because he's still God. Yeah, there was that episode where he got shot in the head by the coal or whatever, and it like weakened him. But still, he's still God. Like, I don't think you can kill God off without him finding out. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird because like there's a lore of how to kill God. Like, there's been times where I can like kind of just like look the other way, but then like when they're like killing God, I don't know. I mean, they got death on their side though, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, the original Death, Julian Richards, like he was an awesome Death. I loved him.
Oh yeah, he was great.
He said, like, I'll even reap death. So I do think they're going to use Billy, the new Death, to maybe kill him. But then you've got the fallback of, if he's dead, then there's nothing in the world but darkness, because Amara is the darkness. So is Jack going to become the new god? Is that something that can happen? Do you know what I mean? Because God made Sam and Dean kill Jack. He said, I can't do it. And then obviously at the end, he did. He clicked his fingers and Jack died. So does God know something that we don't? Or is it just, again, it's just another story because God is this big storyteller?
Mm-hmm. And I remember you telling me that Jared and Jensen weren't a big fan of the finale. So
yeah, Jensen said in an interview that it took him a long time to come to terms with what they had written. He went to the writers and said, "Look, I'm not saying this is the ending." And he's always said in Comic Cons and stuff like that, I see them going out bloody. I see them both dying, killing the big bad, or what have you, and then they're both dying, because if they don't die,
there's always
then
more
you're going to
stories.
want to. Yeah, there's always more stories to tell, because they're not going to give up hunting, because it's what they do. If Sam went off on his own, Dean would go after him, or if Sam died, Dean would want to bring him back, and vice versa. So he said the only way they can end this show for me and for Jared is if we die bloody, and they both agreed on that at like all the various cons they do. And then in an interview, he said, Jensen said, it took me a long time to come to terms with the ending they planned for Sam and Dean, and I wasn't happy with it at first. I've come to terms with it now, of course, but back then I didn't have a understanding of why they would do that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's one of two things. One, it's him playing down the episode, because a lot of times people play up these episodes and it causes problems for fans like me and you when they're like, it's the greatest thing, it's the greatest storybook ending, and it's just a mediocre ending, because shows are terrible at endings. It's hard to end a 15. The longer the show, the harder the ending. It's just facts. Especially one that feels deserved, one earned, or just feels poetic. So it's going to be difficult. So
I
maybe
think no matter what, you're not gonna please every fan of the show.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's been a season that's ended where everybody's went, yeah, okay, that was great. I mean, there's been people. Breaking Bad is apparently the best TV show ever, and I do enjoy it. But some people are like, I didn't like that ending, and I think it's impossible to please everyone.
Yeah.
I just hope when I rewatch it, because what I'm scared of is when it ends, I don't want to rewatch it again because I hate the ending, and I know I'm just coming to the end of a great show with a shit ending.
Yeah. So
that depresses me.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it's them downplaying the episode so we can walk out fucking fully loving it, or it's them they walk out alive. And if they walk out alive, I'm gonna love with you. I'm not gonna be fully thrilled. Again, it depends on the circumstances, because we still don't fully understand what God's end game is. Because he's like, we're gonna end the world, and he's like, they threw the excuse that some worlds take longer to destroy, but why is
Yeah.
that one Earth staying up? So like,
Yeah.
so
I
he's
mean,
clearly got something planned. So like, we got to figure out what his end game is, and I just
yeah.
hope it's not just him
I've
dying.
even wrote my perfect ending. I don't know if I've told you this or not, but I've wrote what I think would be the perfect ending. Sam and Dean die. Cass is dead, or he's in heaven, or what have you. And you see them in heaven, because you know how heaven's
Yeah.
like everyone's got different heaven. Well, Dean is sat at a table looking at his brother with his mum and his dad. So Dean's looking at Sam, and Sam sat with John and Mary. Bobby's there, Ash, all those people that they've lost along the way that they loved are all there. Dean sat at the table, and then a plate is slid along the table by Cass, and it's got a pie on it, and he hands him a fork, and then he sits next to him. Dean smiles, looks at Sam. Sam looks at him and smiles back, and then Carry On My Wayward Son is played. And just
Uh,
fucking, like, when I wrote that, I was like, if they don't do that, I'll cry, because I'm crying thinking about it now.
Yeah, I'm getting like the hairs on the back of my neck standing up and shit like that when I
Yeah.
heard that, because and when you said the Carry My Wayward Song plays, I was thinking season 6's version. So again, for those who
Yeah.
don't know, there was a choir or a play version
Yeah.
of that song,
Yeah, that's
and it
it.
was
That's the
so
one, yeah.
powerful. It was like the sad
Yeah.
slow version, and you see all these characters that they met along the way. And
Yeah.
so just play that. Ah, goosebumps! It's just like,
Yeah, man.
yeah, that's the similar
It's
ending I
just
had.
like, yeah, it symbolizes, because Dean's love for pie is played for laughs the whole show, and then he sits down and he's got a bit of pie on his plate. He's handed a fork by Cass, and Cass looks at him and nods as if to say, "Look, you're done, you did it." And Sam looks at him, looks back, and says, "We've got everything we've ever wanted. We saved the world for the final time." And then that choir version of Carry On My Wayward Son plays, and it just fades to black. And I just think that is literally the perfect ending. It is
Yeah.
literally perfection. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not going to do that, because I'm just some idiot with his own vision.
Yeah.
And they're the writers. So, but like that to me, that's like my idea of the perfect. And I remember writing it a couple of years ago, and I was like, this is how it has to end, or I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
that's why it's hard to do endings with shows of this caliber.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had a very similar ending where like all the major characters died in the final battle
Yeah.
against God. I was thinking about having that final battle be like a 3-episode arc, and
Yeah.
just like full action monsters, or unless they do kill God, right? Like early on, like the beginning of
Yeah.
the third final episode, and it's a 3-episode arc of everything just hitting the fan, because they establish if God dies, monsters and demons and all that shit are just gonna roam free.
Yeah.
And maybe like once that happens, like just shit hitting the fan, it's them just fighting a bloody way, and then just slowly losing the people they knew and loved, and
Yeah.
they finally are able to beat it, but at the cost of their lives. And so they see the world finally fixing itself back together, and that now they're in heaven. And cue the same ending that you said, where it's just one giant barbecue, and just
Yeah.
because Dean is a family man at heart, and
Yeah.
like it's a Sam and Dean story, but in reality, Dean is the one that we kind of like is like the main brother. Like they got equal screen time, they got equal conflict, but Dean is like the forefront. Sam's just the little brother that Dean's got to protect. So
Yeah, that's been the. I mean, I do think obviously they're both equals, and there has been Sam stories and Dean stories, but I do think the whole of Dean's character is basically just always been look out for Sammy, because it's been ingrained to him in his brain by his father. Look out for Sammy. You've got to protect your brother. And then when obviously John died, it's been even ramped up even further, because that's the last living member of his family. Obviously, they brought fucking Mary back, and John came back for an episode. I cried my way through that episode too.
oh my god, yes.
But yeah, I mean, if they both survive the end, it has to be God has eradicated all monsters, and they get to live a normal life without
Yeah.
demons and vampires and werewolves and all that. That's the only way I see them being alive. If one of them's alive and the other one's dead, I'm not going to be happy, because I know if Sam died, Dean's bringing him back. No matter what, he's not going to agree to it and then not do it. So
Because
either both have to die, or they both have to live in a world without monsters.
yeah, because if let's say Sam died, and God's like, okay, eradicate all monsters. That's storybook ending. Because they're also implying that God wants one of them to kill each other. Because that's what they're also trying to imply, and that's the ending they go for. That's gonna low key piss me off. Just saying, but because that's what they tried to do for season 5. But because let's say Sam dies, Dean will find a way to get him back, and if he can't, because God eradicated all magic and all that stuff, so it's just a generic world now.
Yeah,
Dean will kill himself. Like they said, we don't see Dean, and like they established Dean never kills himself because it's just not his character. And when they were in Death's library, they're like, this desk and this thing is just for you. Suicide's never one of them. But if Sam can't come back, Dean will definitely kill himself. If it not be the next day, it'll be 3 years down the line. Because he just can't live without Sam. It's just the role. And Sam, he would just live in a life of guilt, and he'll be in a fucking hobo state for the rest of his life. There's no fucking way to write these characters happy with one of them dead.
Yeah,
just
definitely. I agree 100%.
And I can say that with confidence. You know why? Because they wrote these characters so well that I know. And plus, we've seen one of them die 15 fucking times, so I know how this shit usually goes. And the one time Sam just is like, yeah, let me live a normal life. People gave him shit, like in the story. I'm like, you told him to get a normal life. He's like, yeah, I said that, but I didn't mean it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that shit. Don't do it.
It's making me look like a good person.
Yeah, like when Sam didn't look for Dean when he went to Purgatory, I hated that. But then I also kind of understood Sam's need to try living a normal, boring apple pie kind of life. But yeah, I mean, Sam and Dean have to die together, or they stay alive together in a world without monsters.
Yeah,
because one of them dying and the other one going off is not a good ending for anyone.
Never. If I see that and one of them dies, the other one's like, I'm alive. I'm like, I would go crisis rant with my mom. My mom's like, why are you yelling? I'm like, shut the fuck up! I'm not happy! It's just like, I mean, I'm not like a long-term fan like you, because I started watching this show 3 years ago. And I remember binging. I think it was season 12. So it was the end of season 12. So season 12's ending was the biggest fuck you way to end the show, and I had to wait 3 months to watch the next episode. So like all these like, you know, what's happening next? I got to continue, but I end on season 12. Like we're literally Cass, Crowley, his mom, the devil, alternate worlds. I'm like, this is where I have to end. But yeah, I watched all those episodes from seasons 1 to 12 in the span of a month and a half.
Jesus, well, that's commitment.
Yeah, I was just sitting there watching.
How it feels for someone like me who's so invested in the show when season 1 it ends on a cliffhanger of fucking the car crash, and then season 2, how did season 2 end again? Dean selling his soul. Season 3 he died. I had to wait all this time for these to be like the stories to be continued, and I didn't know how they were going to end. And then season 5, not thinking it was ever coming back, and being an emotional wreck, crying my eyes out because my favorite show had ended. But again, I mean, like, I love the show a bit, but now I am genuinely scared if it ends. If it ends in such a sad note, I will be depressed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna conclude our supernatural talk. For those who are looking at the title, like, did I miss it? Harley Quinn. Yeah. Sorry, we can literally talk for hours on Supernatural. It's just one of those shows. It's just like, remember that moment when, and there's literally moments for literally everything. So we're gonna have more Supernatural talk after this. You can. I was gonna say,
when Supernatural ends, like, if you want to talk Supernatural for 12 podcasts, and we'll go through each season, like,
I'm down. because I told you this. I'm already rewatching it. I'm on season 13 now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna probably watch it again. I was thinking about doing a season by season review of it.
Oh
And
no, that would be cool, man. I'd definitely be interested in watching that. Or if you
be a
want
part of it, dude. Be a part of it
Yeah,
because you're
yeah.
the biggest Supernatural fan that I know.
Oh
So-
yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
But yeah, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. So
Huzzah!
huzzah! Your favorite's Clayface. My favorite is Bane. God damn it! Who put that chair there? I want explosions.
Oh yeah, Bane. I love Bane. I
Bane.
want Bane to be in like the in Harley's gang for next season. I think because they could use now that Dr. Psycho's gone. Out of the gang, anyway.
Yeah.
I think Bane could fill that definitely because he's. My thing I love about Bane is he's an idiot until someone pisses him off, and then everyone's terrified of him. Like with Two-Face and the Two Faces like logo thing, and Batman's like, it's just two faces. it's two faces, two faces. Like I love that. That was great.
Yeah. So again, going back to the beginning of the podcast, Paul does reactions to Harley Quinn. And
Yeah.
I saw like the ending and how excited you were when it was implied that there's a possibility for another season.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what's going through your head. Like what if this is the finale and it was only a 1-2 story arc?
Oh,
like what's going through your head?
Me. I mean, it wouldn't just kill me. I think it would kill every single fan of the show because it's so well done. Like, I was late to Harley Quinn. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. And then I saw that it was available on the DC
Universe app,
streaming service. Yeah, and there was like 10 episodes, and I thought I'll do reactions to them. I'll see what it's like. And about a couple of months before I started the reaction, someone said, "Oh, that voice you're doing sounds a lot like the Joker." And I thought, is it? Does it? Like, yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker. And like, I tweeted that out, and Mark Hamill even like replied to the tweet, and I was like, what the fuck? So I thought, well, it's a good way to showcase like some of the impressions that I do. So I did like my Joker impression, and then Clayface came on, and he's just a theatrical version of me, because like he loves to be loud, as you know I do, and as do you, and like I love Clayface for that. So every time he goes loud, like I just imitate him because
Huzzah!
I love him that much. Like huzzah! Huzzah! And I get goosebumps every time he does it because it's just so funny. Like I love just emulating that stupidness of Clayface because that's basically me without the Clayface, obviously. But yeah, I would be devastated if it ended now because it's so well written, it's so funny. It's a DC property that I've never ever seen before. It's uber violent. It's full of swear words. It's got hilarious characters. It's got bloody Dr. Psycho, who's this proper sexist, horrible person.
I love Dr.
So
Psycho.
Well. You love him. Like when he called
Wonder Woman with the C word.
Yeah, when he called her the C word, I was dead. I was like, what? Like the whole world stopped. So did I. I was like, did a DC character just drop the C bomb? I mean, obviously it was bleeped, but still, like.
Yeah.
It's so well written. Everybody involved in that show does such a good job. And like killing Scarecrow, I never ever thought they would have done something like that. And it was just it was over as soon as it began. Like they killed Ivy, like pretended to kill Ivy, and then melted Scarecrow's face. And I was like, holy shit, they've come to play. They're definitely bringing the big boys out. And then again they killed Penguin, and I thought season 2 was going to be she's just going to kill all of these characters, all of these A-list characters. And then it switched to this romance between Harley and Ivy. And usually you get this fucking love triangle between a dickhead and two people who have feelings for each other, but the Ivy loves the dickhead. But I didn't see Kite Man as this dickhead. I saw him as just a lovable idiot who had feelings for Ivy, and he was a decent person. And you don't get that in the CW. Do you know what I mean? It's always the love triangle of, oh, he's a scumbag, she just hasn't seen it yet. But she will. at the last moment, Kite Man and Ivy were still going to get married, and Kite Man was the one who turned around and said, "No, it's not going to work. You obviously don't have that feeling for me." And like, I thought that was clever of them to do that. Like, and I understand people hate Kite Man, and that's fine. It's their opinion, and I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. But like, I didn't think it would go that way. I thought it was going to be last minute. Ivy was going to be like, "Look, I can't do it." She was going to go through that wedding, but Kite Man turned around and said, "No, no, you don't love me. You need to address your feelings for Harley." And obviously they did, and the way it ended was brilliant. But I don't want it to be the end of the show at all, because it's such a good show, and I love doing the reactions to them as well as that. I mean, I'm not just saying I don't want it to end so I can do the reactions. So I have to stop doing the reactions. I just love the show that much. It's so funny. It's so well written, and the characters are so likable. So I would love it to go for another 3 seasons. I think if they get 5 seasons out of it, that's great.
Yeah, unless they just want a one more story arc, because at least you gotta at least get 3 seasons under your belt. And if like 5, like 7 is usually like the comfort zone for most shows, but that's usually live action. So like 3, 5, or 7 is like the sweet spot. I think 7 would probably be pushing it. Yeah. So probably 3 or 5 would be best. Like there's so many stories you can tell, but like I don't know. They've already done so much, a lot in fact. Like Harley Quinn, in a way, flipped off Darkseid. In a way,
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
you can't really flip off anyone much bigger, other than this thing called the Presence.
Of course, I mean, like they had the big, massive villain in Darkseid, but I mean, they could bring him back.
Yeah.
And the one thing I want them to do, and there's one thing I don't, I want them to like address the relationship between Harley and Ivy. I want them to be in a relationship as a couple, but I don't want it to be like every week there's a problem that they have to solve in their relationship kind of thing. I just want it to be them going on adventures, they're in love, they're together, they're doing the couple thing, but they're also doing these adventures every week. I don't want it to be, right, well, they're in a relationship, how are we going to cause problems for that? I don't want that to happen.
And don't make the show just about the romance either, because it was never just about the romance, except for the last 3 episodes, 4 episodes of the show.
Because obviously you had to address it, because they didn't know they were going to get a 3rd season.
Yeah.
But like, I'm all for more of the relationship, because I think it was written well. I mean, Harley had a heart broken by Ivy in like a few episodes, and then at the end they come together, and it was great. But I don't want it to be, oh well, this week they're arguing over this, so then they're going to be separated. I don't like the episodes where they separate them. I want them to be together, doing like heists or whatever it is they're going to do in season 3. I don't want them to use the relationship as like bait to get you to watch the episode to see if they're going to stay together for the next episode. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of shows do that. Like Bones, I don't know if you ever saw Bones. As soon as they got together, the 2 main characters, it was like they have problems in their relationship every week. And it just gets boring, do you know what I mean? You don't need real life problems in a TV show like that. So, like, are they going to split up kind of thing? I don't think that's something that's good. Like, I get Kite Man maybe harbouring some ill will for Harley. And I'm fine with that. And if they turned Kite Man into a villain for season 3, I think that would be brilliant, because he's just this joke of a character. He's the D-list of all D-list villains.
And get Condiment King. Him team up with that.
Condiment King of
Condiment,
Condiment King's dead now, isn't he? He got eaten by Frank.
That's right.
Which was great. I love that, and I love Frank, and I would love an episode around Frank as well, because he's just so good. He's such a funny character. And at the end, where he's having sex with the flowers in the back of the van, like that killed me. That was great.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do, but here comes the main question: why? Like, just because you can make another season, you got to think of like, how are you going to progress the characters? Because Harley Quinn already got progressed in the way where like she understands she's chaos, she can temper that, but like she learned how to live with it and be mature with it. That's why when Ivy finally said yes, I want to be with you, that was kind of like the wrap up with that. So you got to like find a character flaw within both the characters to continue the show, so you can get that natural drama. Because it's not like a Sam and Dean thing where like it's situational drama. This
Yeah.
like the show's been pretty good on the character drama. That's what kind of pushed the story forward. Like every time like Harley got like heartbroken, she would always react in a different way. If it being
Yeah.
like, sending the parademons to take over Gotham City and the world
That
and
was
stuff like
insane,
that.
yeah.
I'm like, I think you're jumping the shark a little bit, but okay, you got it there. You got it, sweetie. You're doing good. But like, there's always things that was about her character flaws, and that's what made the show interesting. So they got to find a way to incorporate that to the next season without it being just too, hey, we don't want the show to die kind of thing. So because if you just make it a situational drama, then you're gonna kind of like get into the danger zone of just like you don't want the show to die because you just didn't want it to die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, if it ends now, we've had two, in my opinion, perfect seasons because I don't think there's a bad episode out of any of them. I think they did great in season one, getting Harley out of the Joker's shadow, and I think they did great in season two, showing you the relationship dynamic between Harley and Ivy, and just how chaotic Harley could be because she'd rather than deal with her feelings, she'd rather burn Gotham to the ground.
Yeah.
With parademons and stuff. So I mean, I would be sad, obviously, because I love the show and I want more stories. But I'd also be happy to know that we've got two perfect seasons that rounded off a perfect story with a perfect ending, and that would be good. But like I said, I mean, if they did a couple more seasons, I would be down for it, and not just for reactions, but just because to see what other stories they can tell. I mean, like they've got the Justice League, they're back. I mean, we could have more stories with the Justice League in, not like their own episodes or anything, but it could be Harley and Ivy teaming up with the Justice League, or there's other characters that could bring in that they could make jokes out of as well, which I think would be really, really interesting. And,
Yeah, because there's the Batman villains rogues gallery is fucking massive. There's a lot of things you can poke fun at.
Oh, definitely. And another thing I would really love is a Gordon spin-off, because he's literally a broken mess.
I love him.
And he's played fantastically by Christopher Maloney, and every time he's in a scene, he steals it, in my opinion. Like the first episode where he's laughing while Harley's laughing. He's like, "Why are we laughing?" It's just because he's broken. He's lost everything. His wife hates him. His daughter ignores him. He's an alcoholic, and I just thought this is a Jim Gordon we've not really seen. So if they announce a spin-off for Jim Gordon, I think that would be great as well.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see a Jim Gordon spinoff, just because in that world, like, this is gonna kind of smoothly segue into the next episode, next and final topic, which is gonna be probably very brief, but like, this new there's rumors or talks about a new quote unquote Gotham PD show.
Right. I heard about this.
Yeah. So that would work much better as with this Gordon, just Gotham PD, just like straight level, like how we were talking about like D-list characters that we don't know about, like that are in Batman's Rogues Gallery. There's a villain called the Eraser. He's a literal pencil that erases fingerprints and shit like that. And I want that to be the main villain of Gotham PD. If it's obviously live action, they're going off of Gotham.
Yeah.
Fuck me, but I want to see it like that, where it's just Gordon who's like, I gotta get the eraser. God damn it, there are fingerprints. He's just like so pissed off. He's like, there's never any evidence. They're to keep erasing my shit.
Goddamn eraser. Yeah. Oh, that would be great.
Eraser shavings.
I saw a few episodes of that Gotham show where they were like, but it was just I don't know. Like the first season was all like cop stuff, and then apparently it turned into like more supervillains, and then they introduced like Ra's al Ghul, and then like Mr. Freeze and stuff like that. But like, you can't have those things without Batman. It's like, look, it's a Batman show, just Batman's not here. Like, just make it about the Gotham PD solving crimes, and that's fine. And like pepper those things in, but you got like Jerome as the proto Joker or whatever you want to call him, and then his twin brother as the real Joker or whatever. Like, why didn't they just make a Batman TV show? Like,
It's the only superhero that's like so easy to do. Like between Green Arrow and Batman, like the characters with no abilities work so. They're like Batman won't work on TV. I'm like, what do you mean?
yeah,
It's the only. It's like he would benefit from that because first off the animated stuff, right? But extend that to 20 minutes and make it live action. You can do that on a budget. Surprisingly, you know how? You don't need some big explosions or anything like that. You know how you do this? A detective story. Imagine a detective story with Batman, the world's greatest detective. Imagine that, right? Like, I can't imagine how is it that the animated cartoon? How is it the cartoon is the only thing that showed the detective side? Like everything else in live action is like, let me look at the news. That's not detective skills. like, let me see some detecting. I want to see that.
Check CNN. Yeah. Oh, that's how I solve the crime because it's on the news.
Just like, fuck.
I want. He's the world's greatest detective. I want to see that. I mean, don't get us wrong. I want to see him beating the shit out of some dudes. Of course I do. He's Batman. I want to see him pummel people, but I also would like to see, him use his brain. Because that's what he's also known for that. Like, his body's been built up to be able to fight in every fighting style. His mind's so sharp, he can solve crimes with just his brain. And that's the one thing we've never ever seen is, like, in The Dark Knight, he, like, creates a bullet out of a brick or some shit, which is impossible. And that is literally the only detective stuff that they did. And it was bad. Like, give us a detective story.
Yeah.
And put him in a suit, you know what I mean? That's not that hard.
Yeah, like, we're not asking for, like, this military-esque fucking, $30 million design suit.
No,
we're not asking for a fucking Kmart costume either. We want like a good costume, but you don't need to make it for $30 million. People don't know how to make shit on a budget. It's true. But imagine a Batman TV show with the main villain just being Clayface, like not Harley Quinn Clayface, but like a legit Clayface, like where because that requires detective skills. Like that's epic. Like, people think I'm probably like busting a nut all over Clayface, but Clayface is the perfect villain to showcase his detective skills. It's just perfect. Every time we talk about who would you want to see in a villain in the new Batman movie, I'm like, well, obviously Deathstroke. That's what I want to see. But if it could be anybody else, I want to see Clayface just to showcase that detective skills. That's fucking fantastic. Like, it's going to make him have to work harder and harder. And there's a lot of cool scenery you can choose for that. So, Webhead said the new show is in the same world as Matt Reeves' film, so Batman is in there, but not the focus. LOL. Okay. Let's make an Iris West TV show in the world with the Flash, but just have Flash in there every 5 episodes, and it's just a cameo, just him. You see a blur in the background.
Yeah.
Ass.
I don't think Robert Pattinson is going to commit to like a full TV show of Batman because like he's the type of actor. And don't get us wrong. I mean,
he's a pretentious actor.
Like he's good in some of the movies he's made, and I understand he made those Twilight movies, and it was a paycheck for him, and that's fine. But like, he doesn't seem to me, and now don't get us wrong, it might just be his sense of humor. But he's like, I'm not getting buff for Batman. Like this isn't 1966 Batman. This guy. He's buff because he fights. He's building strength to be able to combat all these villains. And he's like, I'm sitting at home. I'm not working out. I'm just doing what I need to do just to get past lockdown and stuff like that. When his instructor said you've got to be in shape for this kind of role, so I don't think he's going to commit to like a full season of Gotham, even if it's like 3 episodes. I don't see him doing that.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
This is one of those rare scenarios where it sounds like they hired somebody who they didn't contract for multiple films. Because every time there's like maybe like a one-off, like Hancock, like the superhero movie with Will Smith, that was like had good parts in it, but was overall boring because there was like no fighting. But like that's a one-off, obviously. But I can guarantee you they contracted Will Smith for at least 2 to 3 films, at least. Yeah. That's the way the business works. They give you $10 to $15 million for X amount of films. This feels like one of those times where it's like Robert Pattinson was contracted for like 1 movie because he refused. Like I'm like, I get it, he's a talent, that's great and all, but like it with Robert Pattinson on top of Matt Reeves, it just doesn't feel like they're committed to making a series of Batman films. Because why would you want to just see a one-off Batman movie? This isn't like the Joker where like you can make a saga out of it. This is a main hero that can have multiple stories. The reason that we like seeing characters grow over multiple movies is because we love the character, and plus stories can call for that. Just having a one-off multi-million-dollar, it just doesn't feel right. At least set up for a trilogy, or at least a sequel. Just a one-off superhero movie. Like every superhero movie dreams of at least having a couple movies off of it. Don't treat it like it's going to be this big franchise. Like, make one good movie. But it's been clear with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, they're not really thrilled to do multiple of these. Just like why make it? You know what I mean? Like,
definitely. I mean, imagine he's the best Batman we've ever seen, and like they're doing the Year One story by the looks of it, like with some of the stuff we've seen. And I do like the Year One comic, but imagine just doing one movie and then just moving on. Like, they're going to have to then recast the Batman for this DCU universe they're creating now, again, for the third time. Like, it's just too confusing.
Batman. Yeah, we're seeing more Batman than we've seen Spider-Man. That's saying something. In the past couple of years, we had The Dark Knight, we had Ben Affleck, and now we got Robert Pattinson. If we had that abomination you want to call in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, sorry Conroy, but you know you got duped. You got all these different Batmen, and now you're on top of that. Now you're going to recast Michael Keaton. Everyone's excited about this Michael Keaton thing. I'm just nervous. Like, I'm excited too. I want to see it, but we're in the danger zone. We're overpopulating our cinemas with fucking Batman. I love Batman, I do, but imagine having 17 different fucking Spider-Man running on different franchises. Like, we had Into the Spider-Verse, and then we have like the Venomverse, and then we have the MCU Spider-Man. But you don't see, like, they're clearly different formats and different stories. Well, the Venomverse not so much anymore, but like they're completely different stories. This, we're going to have like 5 different Batman on screen, and we're like, which one's connected? And then everyone says, the multiverse, because that always works. What? What? That shit's going to get convoluted so fucking quickly, and it's just going to become a mess. And you know why? Because time travel and fucking multiverse stories, they can be told properly, but they're always, when it comes to bad writing, they're used as scapegoats. And I don't want to see that in my stories.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul, you go.
Like, I want Keaton because I loved Keaton's Batman as a kid, but I keep getting Crisis on Infinite Earth flashbacks where he's going to come back and he's going to be like, oh yeah, I kill people now. Like, what the fuck, hold on. And like, that's, to me, that Conroy was the big Batman for my childhood. They brought him to Crisis on Infinite Earth. Is that the one? That's the final one, wasn't it? Crisis on Infinite Earth. And he was like, yeah, I murdered Superman, I murder people now, that's my thing, I'm the Batman who kills. And I don't want Keaton to be that. I don't want them to bring Keaton in to be like, oh yeah, I killed the Joker years ago, dickhead. Like, I dropped him off what did he do? He dropped him off the helicopter or something, tied the gargoyle thing to his leg and killed him. He's like, yeah, I got a taste for it now, I just do murders. Whenever a villain comes along, I just shoot them. Like,
easier.
And, yeah, it's easier. I don't have to go out as much now. When I find them, I just pull out my bat gun and I do a couple of murders and go home.
Have some tea with Albert.
Yeah. So, like, I want them to bring him in, but I don't want them to be like, yeah, he's like the murderer Batman, or he's turned evil.
Yeah, everyone's saying that they know what this is going to be, but nothing's confirmed. That's the thing. We don't know what this is going to be. He's rumored for Flashpoint, and there's a rumor of him being the mentor role in that would be cool. Batman Beyond movie. These are all rumors, but people are taking this as fact now. Nothing's confirmed, and there's apparently a multi-film deal that I've been hearing about. And again, nothing confirmed. These are just rumors and spokes things I've been hearing around. But let's go to Webhead's comment. Let's really see what kind of shit show we're in. Batfleck in the Snyder Cut, Michael Keaton Batman, Matt Reeves Batman, a Batman and Batwoman, Titans Batman who's coming back, Crisis Batman, and potentially a Batman Beyond.
Right. There's another Batman in there, though, isn't there? Because Thomas Wayne, played by, what's his name? I forgot his name now. The guy who played John Winchester.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, you know what's crazy? He was never actually Thomas Wayne, but when I see him, he was in BVS. But when I see the character, he looks like Thomas Wayne's Batman. He looks like it. He's a perfect incarnation of it. And I want him to be a Thomas Wayne. So if he is Thomas Wayne, boner. But still, that's on top of that'll be 7 Batmen.
Yeah. And so exactly, and if the Snyder Cut does well, and people are like, "Oh, Ben Affleck's performance in that was fantastic," they might even bring him back for Flashpoint, even if it's just 1 minute. He's not even in the suit; he's just there, It could.
I think they're going to distance it with him because of what's going on with his mental health and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's totally understandable, and I do understand that. He went back to the bloody bottle, didn't he?
I want him.
He turned to drink again to get through bloody Justice League, and that's fine if they don't. But I don't know. But I think
I want him
because the Justice League Snyder Cut. I don't know because they turned him into a joke for the Whedon cut or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He was great in Batman vs Superman. I loved him. The fight scenes that he was in.
That warehouse. Oh my god! When I saw that, although I hate BVS with a burning passion, I do not like that movie at all. There's 3 things I love about that movie, and that's all with Batman. Metropolis being destroyed. Fantastic. Oh my god, think about it. I love Man of Steel, but you go on you see it with Superman, it's this grand epic battle for survival, battle for the earth. You go into the ground, that's fucking terrifying. You see all that shit crumbling down. The second thing,
he's proper running into the everyone's running away from Wayne Tower or whatever we have it, and he's running in. When I went to the cinema, I'd heard reviews how can someone say this is a bad movie? It started so well. Goosebumps. I was like, my god, this is my fucking Batman right here. This looks awesome. And obviously a lot of shit later, and then we get one fight and then the warehouse scene.
So the second thing is obviously the warehouse scene, like you brought up. I'm tired of seeing Batman punch like a fucking 7-year-old with fucking amputated arms with metal arms replacements. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Just no. I want to see a Batman that can move fast and that's visceral and almost precise and just quick. And he did that. I was buying everything and having a bulletproof suit. That makes sense because you can't dodge bullets. It's not the cartoons. You can't dodge bullets. You're gonna get hit. Yeah. So have a bulletproof everything. So that worked. I love that. And then my favorite moment is Batman's supposed to be scary. So when you can imagine my genuine gasp of fucking terror when there's that scene where the guy got branded and the cops looking around and you see Batman in the corner. I was like, what the fuck? I was just I shielded my eyes. I'm like, that's awesome. I want to see more of that. So I love this Batman. I love the concept behind it. Even though there's still some flaws to it, I want to see more of that.
Definitely. And there should have been more than one fight as well, between Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, the first one Batman should have lost. Batman should have lost the first one, and then the second one should have been Batman.
Threw him around and maybe broke a leg or something, and a couple of months later he's healed and he goes for a second round. They should have done that, but it was so shit. He's the world's greatest detective, and he doesn't look into Clark, and Clark already knows he's Batman, and I'm just come on, show us them coming to this conclusion. Show us them fighting each other and Batman getting his ass kicked, because it gives it more stakes. And then at the end it was just Batman beats Superman straight away. Obviously there's a bit of a fight, but Batman beats him. It should have been one each, so there wasn't a definitive answer to who won. But Batman just won.
Yeah, because Batman got all his answers and all his like detective skills from Lex Luthor. Again, a guy who's clearly such a villain, but Batman is such a fucking dumbass. He couldn't deduce that. Like the detective skills in Batman versus Superman. He's a fucking idiot. I get his hate for Superman. He blew up his fucking building. He killed millions.
Yeah.
But like, still, Batman's a detective. He should have been able to detect. This guy's trying to use me. No, but a guy with a fucking millennial douchebag, I work at Facebook haircut. He got fooled by him. I'm like, aren't you like 45? Aren't you like 50? Aren't you supposed to be experienced? And
like 20 years into his career of Batman, and he's like, oh, I'll believe this guy. This guy who's also looking for
this guy's clearly white. He's clearly telling me the truth. And just like, again, BVS, an iconic story. They shouldn't have done it right there anyway. They really shouldn't have, but they really needed to.
Yeah.
Get rid of Wonder Woman. Get rid of Doomsday. Get rid of Lex Luthor. It should have been just a conflict created and destroyed by both Batman and Superman, because they're literally the yin and yang. They're the yin and yang of everything in the DC universe. They stand for the same thing, but they go different ways. One hides in the shadows, one floats into the light. One inspires hope, one inspires fear. Yeah. It's like there's the conflicts are already there. But that's what makes them, when they're friends, that's what makes them that much closer, because despite their differences, they understand they have the same goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it just, God damn it! I'm fucking mad!
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Ass! Well, yeah, so, yeah, guys, that's going to conclude it for this podcast. Paul, any final thoughts, any final words you want to say before we cue the outro?
Fuck Lana Lang.
Fuck me. I just fucking put soda.
Yeah. I was going to go truth, but then I thought, no, I'll
truth. Fuck it. Yeah. I'm telling you, to this day, I hear truth, and the TH, my ears instantly go pop. And I'm just like,
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we didn't mention all this episode, so I thought, well, we might as well.
Yeah. So, keep up the tradition, you know? So we still technically did it, so Ayo. Yeah, where can they find you?
At the Geordie Nerd everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Discord.
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta send me out the Discord, and I'm gonna have to retweet that so I can join.
I'll do that. I'm also on TikTok now as well. I'm doing 60-second reviews on TikTok like a numpty. The Geordie Nerd again. And what's the other one? Instagram, the Geordie Nerd. Just all the Geordie Nerd. I'm easy to find. And you guys know where you can find me. You can find me on Twitter, Gumps_videos. I'm gonna try to make my way back to Instagram, but most likely not. It's not gonna last that long. Yeah. I hate Instagram. Yeah. They fucked me over one too many times. They fucked me over 3 times, by the way. Just fun fact for you guys. So yeah, I lost my account like twice. Had to fight for that back. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of it. But anyways, guys, you can find me on Twitter, Gumps_videos. You can find me there for latest news updates on my channel, guys. Make sure to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/GumpsVideos, all one word. If you want exclusive content, $1 minimum to get all the exclusive content. And if you want specific tiers, there's so many great stuff you want to look at. I got a video queued up for really raunchy stuff that I can't post on YouTube. So if you want to see that, that's the most expensive tier. Yeah, OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. My nipples are hurt when you said that. But yeah, you guys can follow me there, support me there. Make sure you thumbs up this podcast, and I'll see you guys on Monday for the next gaming video. Peace out. Bye.
See ya.